Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All righty, we got breaking news this morning. Yeah, and the Bucs have finally hired an offensive coordinator. Woo! And
how about that? Now can they get a head coach?
And maybe coming. Who knows? Maybe Zach will become a head coach. That's kind of the way it works here in Tampa Bay.
All right.
Welcome into the JP Peterson Show here on this beautiful Thursday morning before the rest of the country gets snowmageddon, which I lived through in Atlanta with which is a great segue because we're going to get this going right away, folks. Charlie Strong's going to join us a little bit later on in the show to preview the championship games this weekend and also look back on Indiana's win over Miami. So we'll look forward to that. But first, let's get right to the breaking news. Zac Robinson, Falcons offensive coordinator for the last couple of years, a Sean McVay disciple, is the new Bucs offensive coordinator. Yeah, there we go. We had mentioned him a couple weeks ago. We put that out to the fans. Buccaneer fans were like, nah, no thank you, we'll pass. Well, he's your new offensive coordinator.
Can't pass now.
Yeah, when the news broke this morning, Bucs Nation was less than thrilled, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and that's what you got. So let's find out what's going on. Who is Zac Robinson, a 39-year-old, has been calling plays for the Falcons the last 2 years, which my former colleague has had a front row seat for. The great Dave Archer, he is the radio analyst for the Falcons, former NFL quarterback, and one of the best quarterback analysts in the game. Dave, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Buck fans cannot wait to hear you talk about Zac Robinson. How are you?
Yeah, JP, great to be with you, man. And I can understand because I think we threw for 1,000,000 yards against Tampa, so I can understand why they'd hire Zac. No question about it.
I don't know why they're so upset. I mean, my God, he killed us. So what's it all about?
Well, I mean, the problem is you can't play against yourself, right? So when you look at what Zac brings to the table, obviously he falls off of that tree that it seems like there's so many guys in the National Football League that are now from the quote Shanahan tree, if you will. And I'm talking about all the way back to the Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak. We've actually hired a guy here that would have some background with that style of offense, the old West Coast offense, which is morphed into a lot of different versions, but it's tied to the wide zone running game and the ability to do a myriad of things off of that. I think that it becomes different with the people that you have, right? And I think that Tampa, the way Tampa's built offensively, we had some weapons here. Bijan Robinson, no question. I think Drake London's as good as there is. Kyle Pitts seems like he plays really well against Tampa and then doesn't play well against other guys, so you're not sure.
Yes,
I like the group of players that Zac inherits there in Tampa for him to be able to do some of the things he was able to do. If you go back to his first year as the coordinator here last season, and we had the problems with the quarterback. Kirk lost his way for about 5 games after he lit you guys up a couple of times. And then we ended up putting Penix in. With all that going on, Atlanta, I think, was one of the 5 or 6 teams in the National Football League, was in the top 10 in both running and throwing the football.
Yep.
So they were able to move the football. It was a matter of closing the show in the red zone. I think if you're a little bit wanting, and this is probably something that you get a lot of help from Baker with, is how do you close the show on drives, the finished drives with touchdowns and not field goals? That would probably be my biggest gripe that we weren't able to do up here. This didn't do enough. We moved the football from 20 to 20.
Well, that's the secret sauce of play calling, is it not? The red zone. I mean, I think that's where the coordinators really show their teeth. What were did you see the issues as scheming in the red zone, execution? What did you see the issues as?
Well, you know as well as I do, whenever you get down to some dysfunction offensively, and you guys witnessed it probably yourselves there late in the year in Tampa, it's a group of things. It's the coach and what he's got going from an ingenuity standpoint, from a creativity standpoint, and then it's the execution piece of it. How many times did guys did maybe Baker have a guy open and miss him, or or a guy dropped the football or whatever it might be, a missed block. We had those kind of things. I could go back and pick plays out even from this season where if we make one play, we had a 5-game stretch where we lost 5 in a row, and 4 of the 5 were 1-score games.
Mm-hmm.
And I could pick out one play, not change anything else, just one play we had available. If we win the football game, and we would have won the division and gone to the playoff. That's how close and how tight this thing is. And that's why I point to the weapons that he's going to have there from an offensive standpoint. The 2 backs are excellent. Obviously, I don't know what the situation is from getting guys re-signed. I don't know what Mike Evans is going to do. But Abuka is a phenomenal player. Godwin's a phenomenal player. Otten is an outstanding tight end. You got a group of players. And I think the difference is Baker Mayfield. And the scuttlebutt up here was that before we signed Cousins, Atlanta wanted Baker Mayfield. But, that's neither here nor there. But I love the way he plays. I know it didn't close the season very well. I know that's not – I know fans are a little disgruntled down there probably with the way that thing closed out and maybe the way Baker played down the stretch. I'd love to have him on our team. There's no question about that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. How much did the dysfunction at quarterback affect Zach Taylor? And obviously,
Robinson.
Zac Robinson. We hear Penix can't operate under center, so you're having to deal with one guy that can't go under center, and then the other guy comes in, and it really, picked up at the end of the season. Certainly, Kirk kind of found his way. So how did that affect Zac Robinson and how he worked and called plays?
Yeah, I think that the can't probably is not the right way to say it. I think that there was a comfort zone with Michael Penix. When they went up and evaluated Penix in Washington, if you go back and look at the tape of him his final 2 years at Washington, and they went on to play for the national championship and lost to Michigan, they played a lot of the game out of the shotgun and out of the pistol set.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very comfortable in that set. They used some of that in L.A. with Zach was the pass game coordinator under Sean McVay. They used a little bit of that with Stafford. So they just expanded that out. Now it came to life more because Kirk was the starter last season, and Kirk was limited with coming back from the Achilles injury, was limited in his ability to get out into the run lanes for the stretch running game. As you know, under center, that's a good hard 3 steps to get the ball to the run track to give the football to Bucky Irving or Rashad White. You got to get out there to get him the football. So same thing with Bijan Robinson here. So what they found was in the pistol, they could run the same wide zone game, but it was just a 2-step deal, and he could hand the football off. People get lost in the fact that they think, well, you can't the play action's not as effective out of that. Well, the misnomer that people don't understand, and I'm talking about fans, is the front seven's not looking at the backfield on play action. The secondary is, and so you can affect the second. But the linebackers, if I'm reading what's going on between the quarterback and the running back, I'm already beat. Those guys are reading offensive linemen and how they're stepping to make it look like run, the assimilation of run game. That makes me come downhill. If they're pass protecting, it doesn't matter what I'm doing back there. I could be jumping backflips back there. They're not paying any attention to me. If the offensive line is pass setting, I'm getting into my pass drops.
Right.
So that was the dysfunction between the play action out of the pistol and the run game of the pistol, in my opinion.
Dave, one of the deficiencies we had here in Tampa with the OC last season under Grizzard, of course, first-time OC, first-time play caller, was his inability to adapt on the fly with either situations on the field or with personnel available or unavailable to him in game. Comment a little bit on Robinson's either ability to do that or inability to do that.
Yeah, I think it would be a mixed bag there, to be honest with you. I think that there were a number of times that he had some creative ideas that guys just didn't execute. There were a number of things that were available. Either the quarterback missed it, or and is that on the coach that the quarterback didn't see it and miss it? Maybe there's some coaching things that didn't happen during the week that got his eyes where they were supposed to be. But in all honesty, it was missed opportunities. Yeah, and it was just a myriad of things, motion across the formation where Kirk Cousins didn't time it up or Penix didn't time it up and the ball hits the guy in motion. I mean, it was like, it was the Keystone Cops a number of times with our offense.
We saw a little
and
bit of
Zach
that.
got blamed. Yeah, and Zach got blamed for some of that. Now, execution and design obviously those two things kind of meld together some. And so you both are culpable when it comes to who you're blaming. I thought there were a number of things that would have allowed us to win football games had we executed them under Zac Robinson that we didn't do. Now, could he have been more creative and stuff? When you're not executing those opportunities, then you got to be uber creative to come up with more opportunities, right? They're coaching on the other side too, by the way. The other team on defense is coaching too, and that's what the part that gets me about fans is they think that everything's supposed to score. Everything's supposed to be a 15-yard play. The other side's coaching too. They're watching the tape, so they're getting ideas too. So when you have 60 plays you run on offense, there's going to, and you guys have heard this and talked to players, there's 5, 6, maybe 7 plays that are going to be difference-making plays in the game. Now, you don't know when they're going to come in the 60, 65 plays you run on offense, so you got to execute each play like it's one of those plays. And if you win more of those 5, 6, 7 plays than the other team does, you probably win the game. And that's just a matter of fact.
Dave Archer joining us here, Falcons radio analyst. We're talking about Zac Robinson, the new OC hire here. Dave, before I let you go, Mike Evans, you mentioned him. We don't know if he's coming back or not, but we see what Zac did with Drake London. Do you see those two as similar players, and how might he use Mike? And if Zac was going to give him a pitch to come back, what would he be able to say vis-a-vis like Drake London?
Yeah, I think that, Drake, what happened, JP, with Drake is he was outside a good bit in his year before Zac got here. And when he got here, they moved him inside to the slot area. And I know Evans has moved around a great deal here in the latter part of his career. I know he got banged up this last year, and he's been kind of that big guy on the outside the numbers. I think he equates big time to slide inside. He understands coverage. He's an excellent route runner for his size. They're very similar. They're not great in, not really quick in short area spaces, but if you get them striding, they're a problem. So running those deep in cuts from the slot area, he's a big target. Absolutely. I think that he could do a lot of stuff with him, and he could just throw the tape on and say, here's what we did with Drake London. And London caught 100 passes last year, probably would have caught the same amount of passes this year. And Evans can get back on that unbelievable roll of 1,000-yard seasons if he comes back.
All right, Dave, great stuff, my friend. Really appreciate you jumping in. I know you're busy this morning. That's excellent analysis. I knew you were the go-to guy. And now we got Baker already chirping at Stefanski. This is going to get good. It's going to get even better next year, right?
Absolutely. Got the full rivalry on crank, no question about it. Love it. And I think that the one thing that Zac's going to be able to incorporate that we didn't do here, Cousins was limited in his movement. I don't know how Penix, we used it a little bit with Penix, but he didn't seem to be adapt to it. But Baker's ability to move, the bootleg game comes to life with you guys in that stretch running game, which is a problem for us because Baker has the ability to get out on the move and make some throws on the move. So I think that complementary piece to the wide zone game, the bootleg piece, comes to life with Baker Mayfield.
Well, I got to ask you real quick, Stefanski, how's that being received? What do you think?
Well, the city, man. Nothing's good enough for the city. I'm not sure they would have been. Vince Lombardi, we hired Vince Lombardi. He's too old. Isn't he? He's too old. I mean, they would have been bitching about something. It's unbelievable.
Are all coaches in Atlanta compared to Jerry Glanville like they are in my brain?
That's the one name I haven't heard brought up this week is Jerry Glanville. So
those were the days. Those were the days. Oh, my God. All right, Dave. Thanks, man. Appreciate your time.
Great to be with you guys. Y'all take care.
Jerry Glanville. Nice.
I like that.
Oh, God. He was a piece of work.
He was. Awesome.
Was that a toupee? Was Glanville?
Had to be, right?
Had to be, right? Had to be.
Remember he raced NASCAR for a little while?
Oh, God, yeah. Remember that.
And he always left tickets for Elvis.
Yeah. Man. So what are we feeling? We're the same as Atlanta. This hire's going over like a fart in church.
Look, now I'm going to do something that most Buccaneers fans won't
Which
do.
I kind of enjoy, actually. I think it's kind of entertaining.
Chaos is fun to talk about, that's for sure. But I'm going to do something Bucs fans probably won't. I'm going to reserve judgment on the hire until I see what he does, what he can and can't do. Now, I will admit, a guy who had Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson at his disposal having problems scoring in the red zone to me is a red flag.
Yeah.
But different situation, different team. Again, he may have better luck. Like Dave said, Baker's a lot more mobile than anybody he's got over there.
Yeah.
He never had a healthy, Penix. So
yeah,
we'll see. I'm not mad at the hire. It's just curious.
Well, it's what's left.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
You think it's a panic hire?
Somewhat. Yeah.
He didn't get McDaniel if indeed that was who we think they wanted, right?
Look at all these openings, man, that aren't filled yet. Staffs have got to be filled, and experienced play callers are going to be hard to find. And again, in 24, his first year, they were 6th in total offense, 5th in passing offense, and 10th in red zone. That's not bad. Now, last year, and so much of this goes to health, availability of players, obviously quarterback situation. I mean, you think about it, Zac had to basically call 2 different offenses, one with Penix and one with Kirk Cousins, and had to, at some point work both of them, right? That's got to be interesting. I don't want to come on here and make excuses for him because some of the stuff they did was good. It was certainly better than, Bowles was certainly impressed because they stomped all over Tampa Bay. Listen, if you tell me this, and does it matter more if the offensive line is healthy or who your coordinator is? I'll say the offensive line health. If Zac Robinson has a healthy offensive line and these weapons to work with, I think it'll be fine. And it's his second year. First year was really, really good in terms of the numbers. Second year, obviously extenuating circumstances, not as good. And the red zone to me is really where play callers make their hay. And if you're not getting it done in the red zone, what's going on? So that's a concern. No question about it.
And keep in mind, offensive coordinators are coaches and they're people. They grow, they learn, and they adapt. So his experience in Atlanta might make him a better coordinator in Tampa Bay.
Hell yeah. Would I have rather hired an up-and-coming guy that hasn't called plays? No.
Nope.
No. Again, this is not the end-all, be-all, but Dave Canales had never called plays. We were 20th in offense, right? Around 20 points a game, below the average.
You talked about it yesterday. It was a 10 points difference.
Liam Cohen, an experienced play caller in the NFL, not a ton, but definitely in college, which is, if you're in the SEC and you're calling plays, it's as close to the pros as you can get. Let's just be honest. So he had experience, and you really saw the difference in setting up stuff, the talent that is play calling. It makes a difference. There's no question about it. And, last year, Grizzard was, when you're new, it's a learning process. It just is, and the fact that when Zac came in, he, his first year, they were 6th in total offense. That's pretty impressive to me. So I don't think it's a terrible hire. It's not a home run hire. Obviously, it's probably the best of what's left in terms of fit. Yeah. If you're going to find, and let's talk about Baker. Baker was all in on this. Baker stumped for him. And that's, listen, and that can go 2 ways, right? I heard Dan Orlovsky say something interesting this morning. In terms of bringing in new coaches, right? It's, in Buffalo, he was talking about that situation with Josh Allen. It's like, don't bring in somebody that he's comfortable with. Bring in somebody that's going to challenge him. Yeah. And I thought to myself, that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, Baker knows Zac. Is that a plus? Yeah, sure it is. I think communication, I think if you like the guy you're working with, things are going to be way more productive. But I think what Dan was saying is comfortability in terms of, let's just hire somebody from within like we did with Grizzard last year. Baker was all in on that as well. Yeah. It was comfortable. We don't have to change offenses. Is that the best way to go?
And we touted it as continuity, right? Like that was a good thing, man. It's continuity.
Continuity wins in this league. There's no question. But did it work out? And again, was it on Grizzard or was it more on the offensive line injuries and Baker's injuries? I would lean more towards the injuries. It doesn't mean Grizzard was great. It just means those things mean more. Those things mean more when your quarterback can't throw the ball the way he wants to throw it and the way he's used to throwing it. Your brain is making decisions when you're scanning the field and you're seeing things. Your brain is saying, I can make that throw. I can fit that in, right? And you make the throw. But wait a minute, my oblique, my knee, my shoulder, it doesn't go where you want to go because you're injured. Pick, miss, interception. That's what happens. Is that the play caller's fault? No, it's execution. If he said what's more important, execution or play calling, execution, of course. Every play is designed to work if you execute it correctly. Now, as Dave pointed out, it's the other team is trying to keep you from executing it and beating you in blocks. And again, calling plays when you have an interior of an offensive line that is substandard, well below NFL average, which the Bucs did this year, it's difficult because you're getting penetration in the pass game and the run game. And you can't run any play with that. So, I mean, I think, was Grizzard unfairly fired? I think he would have been a hell of a lot better in year 2. Would it have been better to keep Grizzard and then bring in Zac Robinson? But
here's the problem with that, JP, from a Buccaneers standpoint. Bowles knows he's coaching for his job. And if Bowles wants to make a change at offensive coordinator, he's going to do whatever makes him look best. Go get a guy with experience, a guy that's called plays, that's had a measure of success in the league, that came from that tree, with Liam Cohen from the Rams and the Sean McVay tree. And he's coaching for his job, and he's going to put people around him that he thinks will make him look good. Right. And Grizzard, he doesn't think was that guy. So I think it was a little rough to fire him outright. I might have reassigned him or maybe they offered him another position, and he didn't want it. Maybe he saw the dumpster fire and said, man, just get me out of here. That's possible too.
Yeah. I don't doubt. And I think there was definitely a little bit of that going on. Let's get to some of the comments here today. Bucs Basement says this is a very uninspired hire that reflects on our lame duck head coach and no actual good candidates wanting the job. Get ready to be in pistol formation the entire game. Just simulate the season. That
was one of the criticisms.
You're not wrong.
Formation, yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Predictable.
I said this yesterday. Mike McDaniels came here, didn't like what he saw. Todd Monken came here, didn't like what he saw. Those are the two prime candidates, right? And if these people are coming to your building and they don't like what they see, there's dysfunction here. And we could see that. It's not just because those guys were here. I mean, they could have just gone for better opportunities. I get that. But if it was really, really good here, maybe they don't leave, right? And I think that's a red flag. I think it's a red flag that your players and Hall of Famers and everybody else is dogging your head coach and the scheme and everything too. That's a red flag. So, it comes back to it. Yeah, this was the best we could get.
And I'll throw this out there. I know he's been criticized for, oh my God, he's pistol heavy, the pistol formation all the time. Well, he's also very heavy in changing up personnel groupings on offense. And he does a lot of pre-snap motion to dictate defense and to see what defensive coverage is doing. A lot of that, you almost have to use pistol coverage or the pistol formation to use a lot of that motion.
Yeah, but to Dave's point, though, they had to do the pistol with Cousins all the time because he couldn't get out to the wide game. Yeah. So with Baker, as to his point, and this is an important point, and you'll hear this talk on every other show that it's a pistol all the time. Well, now you know why, because Cousins couldn't get out there. And with Baker, and Dave said this, with Baker, it really opens up the bootleg game that Kirk Cousins really couldn't do. So let's keep that in mind. Baker is a way different quarterback than he was working with. And he likes Baker and had success with Baker. So I think these are all positives.
And I'll tell you this, Bucky Irving had a tremendously down sophomore season last year. And you're about to find out in 2026 if Bucky Irving is for real, because we saw what Robinson did with Bijan. You listed the numbers that Bijan had last year. last week or earlier this week when somebody posted or said something about they didn't use the run game. So, yeah, we're going to find out what Bucky's got for real under Robinson next year, and that's probably a good thing too.
Well, but I would suggest this, that Bucky and Bijan Robinson are two different players, and I think Bijan is built different, obviously, and can withstand 25 touches a game. I think Bucky, to me, is more of a 15 to 18 touch a game guy.
And you'll have a guy behind him, but
right,
he'll still be the feature. He'll still be.
Might be Tyler Algier. It might be Tyler Algier.
I would not be mad at that at all.
No, me neither. Aviation says, question, who had better offensive weapons in 2025, the Bucs or Falcons? Well, I think it starts at quarterback, and I think Baker's huge.
Yes, huge,
much better. But you look at the other positions, I still think the Bucs had better overall receiving core, and Bijan's might be the best player in the game. So, and Kyle Pitts is what he is, which is really good against the Bucs.
He's an enigma is what he is, because I can't figure out what he is.
And Greg DeCruz says Bucs made their bed by keeping Bowles, so it is what it is. Yep. And all of this, the main thing is, we got a new offensive coordinator, still have the same head coach. Bantry says, toss up, in my opinion, their running back was better, but I'd say a push on wide receivers and tight end. No, I think the Bucs are better.
At tight end?
You heard Dave loves Kate Otten. Dave Archer. I think Otten's
nobody else is high on Kate Otten as Dave Archer. I've looked at every mock draft that's come out so far this year. Just about everybody has the Bucs picking a tight end in the first round.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. It may depend on the player, but no,
they need
an edge rusher. I mean, what are we even talking about?
Yeah, I'm not saying you need one in the first round. He'd have to be, Brock Bowers, but
yeah, exactly. No, we're not taking a tight end in the first round. Whoever's mocking that is.
But that was, who that was? That was Mel Kiper.
No, there you go. I'm not saying we don't need a tight end. I'm just saying we need an edge rusher a hell of a lot more. And at 15, we could get a good one. Yes, when the Falcons are making fun of us, says Tampa guy, it's a terrible idea.
That's kind of funny.
No, it just means that, those people bitch about everything. Agreed, Bantry. Probably comes down to a healthy O-line and quarterback play. Just strange to bring in a guy within the division who didn't have much offensive success. We saw it firsthand. Well, again, his numbers the first year were good. Last year were not as good. Again, I don't want to defend the guy as some great hire. I don't think it is, but it's the best of what was left. It's like I said yesterday, you better go get Zac Robinson right now, because I don't know who's going to be left after that. Joel Forster says, who had the better offense, Cleveland or Atlanta? The hire is fine, but unless we score 40 points a game, it doesn't matter who our OC is. Todd and his elderly staffs are still on defense. Yep. Jew Jetson says Mike Evans ain't coming back to this shit. He's gone. He's gonna be in Kansas City. Yeah.
JP, after the break here, let's go over this mock draft, because there's some interesting points here that we need to discuss for the Bucs.
Okay, cool. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Charlie Strong is going to join us. We'll talk. We'll recap the national championship game. Charlie, obviously coaching with Miami a couple of years ago, knows that team well, and Indiana. So we'll talk a little bit about that, the fallout from that, what's going on in college football. Also, we'll preview the championship games and all the hirings and firings going on around the NFL. We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. Genesis of Tampa, that is the place to go to get your new car. They've got great used cars as well, great deals. They are making deals. They're making all the other Genesis dealerships really, really upset because they're taking over the market, and that's because they do great deals, and they're great folks to work with. They're not going to high pressure you into something that you don't need. So go test drive the car. They're giving away a $2,500 gas card, gas for the year, so you can 10x your entries by going by and taking a test drive or having your car appraised. So stop by this weekend, 801 East Bears, just off of 275, and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3 with Charlie Strong. Stay with us. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Timm May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. It's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond, from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on Fanstream Sports.
Hi, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. I want to remind you folks that coming up this weekend, Saturday at 7 o'clock on MORTV, the Orlando Magic will be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll be talking Orlando Magic on this show tomorrow, and that'll be at 11:30. So we're promoting a little Orlando Magic stuff. We want to talk a little bit more Magic because they're actually becoming a pretty good basketball team. Had a nice run over there
Exciting
in
to
Germany.
watch.
Yeah, they really are. They're a great young team. So we're going to start talking a little Magic basketball each and every week, and reminding you that on MORTV, you can watch them on the weekends and select games coming up here as the season goes through the second half. So check it out Saturday night. It's MLR-TV, the Cleveland Cavaliers and your Orlando Magic, who are sixth in the East right now.
I mean, you got Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway and Nick Anderson wearing the pinstripes. Man, that's what's not exciting about that.
You're in the time warp again, are you? Yeah. Yeah. Those were the days, though.
Going against Mark Price.
Those were the days, man. Those the heyday. And then they had that finals appearance with Dwight Howard. Who else was on that team? I remember going over there watching the Lakers Magic finals. Was that 2009?
I just remember the Lakers Rockets final when they got swept.
Yeah.
93.
Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, MOR-TV, we will have your Magic for free. Don't have to get an app or anything right there. 7 o'clock on Saturday night against the Cavs. That's
a rarity these days.
That should be a good one.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. As we await Charlie, we will hit some of your comments here because you guys are really, really excited.
I just don't understand being that down on this hire. Like,
I don't either. Greg the Crew says, I don't think you can just say because it didn't work in Atlanta that it won't work here. Personnel, specifically quarterback, matters.
100%.
And again, I wouldn't say it didn't work in Atlanta, and this is what, people look at records and they look at numbers. And this is why you get Dave Archer on the show, because he watched every single play and broke down every single play. If we were sitting here and the Falcons were the division champs and won, 10 games, we'd be going, first of all, Zach wouldn't have got fired.
He'd still be there.
He'd still be there. And they'd be cranking, right? We'd all be like, "Ooh, I wish I had his offense coordinator. Look what they did." No, so it's and there was one play, 5 or 6 games, and that would be the difference. That's the difference in winning the division or not. So, there's so much more that goes in. Is he a terrible offense coordinator? No. And some of you who sit there and say, "Oh, this guy sucks," you don't know. And again, with the totally different personnel, what's it going to look like? I like the fact that it's very similar offense to what we've been running. It has a lot of the Rams staples to it. It's what Baker knows. And I do like getting Baker out on the move. I like it a lot because I think he plays much better out in the bootleg. I don't think we used him enough in those situations, especially later in the season. And maybe that was because, his knee hurt. But, I think this is it. Listen, it's way more about personnel than it is who the coordinator is. And the Bucs have excellent personnel. So I don't think it's a home run hire, but I don't think it's terrible either. It's going to come down to execution. And to your point, Tim, getting better. I mean, if there's one thing Zac Robinson, I'm sure he's doing in this offseason, is studying Sean McVay's, which he already knows, obviously inside and out, his red zone. And what is he doing that we're not doing? And red zone is so much about execution. It's about, the difference between a good throw and a bad throw is a couple of centimeters in the red zone. And that's on the quarterback and the receiver running a great route. So, and again, the Bucs red zone was awful this year. It's going to be, it hopefully gets better.
Mm-hmm.
And with the personnel they have,
nowhere to go but up.
Yeah. I mean, the fact we had one tight end touchdown last year. It didn't happen till like week 14 or 15.
It was late. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not using your tight ends in the red zone, what the F are you doing? Yeah. Come on, Josh. Let's be better than that. But
hey, JP, by the way, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
The NFL released their awards finalists this morning. I don't know if you've seen this.
Ibuka in the running for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Your AP Offensive Rookie of the Year finalists: Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Ted McMillan, Travion Henderson, and Emeka Ibuka.
I haven't looked at the numbers, but Travion had a good year against us. He had a good year.
I mean, Shuck, and I think Shuck's kind of a.
He was such a late bloomer, though.
He was.
You think he's the odds on though, because he only played like 5 games though.
I don't know.
Didn't he start like 5-6 games? That's it, right?
I think it was more.
Hmm.
I'll look it up. Your defensive rookie of the year: Xavier Watson, Atlanta; Carson Schlesinger in Cleveland; James Pierce Jr., Falcons. They got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Nick Emenwan with the Seahawks, and Abdul Carter with the Giants. Offensive player of the year: Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nakua, Bijan Robinson, and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive player of the year. Yeah, that is. I think defense will too. You've got Will Anderson, Nick Benito, Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson, and Micah Parsons. This is going to Myles Garrett. There's no question who's winning that one. Comeback player of the year, which I think is a weird category because it's basically saying you sucked the year before or you were injured. I think they're going towards injured players now, aren't they?
Yeah, probably.
Stephon Diggs, Aiden Hutchinson, Trevor Lawrence, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott. AP Coach of the Year. This one's going to hurt a little bit, you guys. Just sit down. Mike Vrabel, Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDonald, Ben Johnson, and Liam Cohen.
Ouch, babe. Ouch, babe.
Ouch, babe. And finally, JP, your AP Most Valuable Player of the Year, presented by Invisalign.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give me 45 cents for saying that. Matthew Stafford, good grief, Christian McCaffrey. Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, and Josh Allen.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
I think his numbers were that good.
I mean, Drake May's winning that, right? Is there any question?
Matthew Stafford?
I mean, that's who I would pick. I just think Drake May came on so hard at the end of the year, outplayed Stafford, the last, month and a half of the season. But, I mean, that's who I'd vote for if I had a voting pick here, would be Stafford.
I might vote for Bijan Robinson.
Well, he's not a finalist.
I still would vote for him. How is he not a finalist?
You write him in. Is there a write-in category?
How is he not a finalist?
I don't know. That's a great question. He's not. Yeah, I mean, he should be.
All right.
So there you go.
I never got. I'm so awards used to mean something. I kind of don't anymore.
No, to me, this is the most exciting part is seeing who the finalists are. I don't really care who wins. I just like to see the list of who, and the AP Assistant Coach of the Year. Does anybody care about that? I guess if he's on your team, you do maybe.
Yeah.
Vic Fangio, Brian Flores, Vance Joseph, Clint Kubiak, and Josh McDaniels, by the way, are your assistant finalists. It's a weird thing to have an assistant coach of the year.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Let's see some other ones here. Nathan Stout says maybe Zac Robinson can tell Todd why his defense gets destroyed. Maybe that's why they hired him.
Dude, that's a real thing, by the way. I talked about it on my Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitzes. They are interviewing defensive coordinators. They're targeting the defensive coordinators that stopped their offense the past couple of years, including Jonathan Gannon in Arizona. So that's a
go
thing.
Get some intel. Yeah. I wonder if those coaches would go, I'd like to tell you, but I can't. Till you hire me. Hire me and I'll tell you. Yeah. Hire me and I'll tell you. Yeah. I wonder how that works.
Because it's so stupid that they're like, look, I could tell you, but you really don't want to know because it was super easy.
Yeah. But what would you do in that situation? I mean, you want the job, so you obviously want to put your best foot forward, show them what you know, but you also know you ain't hiring me. Yeah. So if I'm going somewhere else in the division, I don't want to give up my secrets.
Yep.
That's interesting. I wonder how that's handled.
I think the team, the interviewer, the GM, or whoever it is, the head coach that you're interviewing with would have to respect the dedication, right?
I don't know. Maybe they would think, well, he won't be very loyal to us. Well, I guess that's it is a very good sign of loyalty. I'm not giving it up just for some interview. Unless you want to pay me. Yeah, sure. Hire me. I'll tell you what I did. Can you say that and get hired? I don't know.
Why not?
Interesting question. Let's see. Danny Boy says, doesn't seem like the Bucs have been looped in on this. They still have plenty early for both sides to get along. They're talking about the Bucs and the Rays. Did you see the Bucs statement yesterday?
No.
This comment goes with the other one. Danny Boy says Rays might ask for $1 billion in help, infrastructure, etc. Why wouldn't the Bucs ask for the same thing? The Bucs building competing mixed-use districts across the street, traffic chaos in late summer with the crossover. Well, I'm not worried about traffic for games, and they'll schedule around that. That's not a thing. So And if it is, it's once or twice a year. We'll figure it out. You don't not choose a place because that might happen once or twice a year. That's just kind of silly. But it is interesting. So let me read if I can find this real quick here, partner. Let me read the statement from the Buccaneers that they put out yesterday. I guess somebody was asking for a statement on, the Rays obviously doing what they're doing and them being next door. I'm searching.
Just on the X machine.
Yes. Sorry. Oh, there's that great picture of you drinking a beer in a.
That I have accepted the head coaching position.
Yes.
I got a lot of positive feedback from that, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I can't find it.
But I can't imagine there's a big issue with traffic and parking and crap because the infrastructure is basically already there for Ray J and for Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the great things about the site is you don't have to worry. So many times they pick a site, like when they picked the one in Atlanta, it was so funny because there's, traffic in Atlanta is just absolutely ridiculous anyway. And it was like, oh my God, because the MARTA doesn't go out that way. That's the only place it doesn't go, like to all the corners of Atlanta. There's no, they didn't want a MARTA line going out that way because they didn't want people coming from the inner city to their suburb, which is kind of interesting. And it was like, oh, the traffic, the parking is going to be awful. We figured it out. Everybody figured it out. Parking lot sprung up. They figured it out. That's just kind of the way these things work because there's traffic everywhere anyway. So,
and that was the spot that they picked. You're talking about the Truist Park, right? The baseball stadium.
Yeah.
Because the plot of land, if you look at it before they developed that and built it, I mean, it's in a great spot because you've got it's intersection of two major freeways right there.
Yeah, right. Three.
But that little plot of land where they picked to build it and all the new amenities around it was already landlocked by a major road there to the north and then the freeway to the south. And they just sort of had to make it all fit. And they did a wonderful job. Like, it's an incredible atmosphere there. It's an incredible infrastructure they have around that park.
Yeah. So that's one great thing about where HC is. I guess we got to stop calling it HCC because it's a college. It's not a community college anymore.
Oh,
college.
Were promoted
to college. So here's the statement for the Bucs. Following yesterday's vote by the Hillsborough College Board of Trustees, we look forward to learning more about these proposed projects as the process moves forward.
All right. I mean, you asked for a statement. You got one.
I guess that's what that is. Hey, you guys have anything to say about this? Yeah, we have nothing to say. Here it is. And I quote, we look forward to learning more about these proposed projects as the process moves forward. Is that a dig at the TSA or the county for like, hey, how come you haven't kept us informed? I don't know. I don't know what that is. That's like such a nothing burger.
It almost sounds like they're butthurt about something.
A little bit, right? I mean, if you want to read it, but it's just a nothing. Like, why even put out that statement? We will look forward to learning more. I guess it's just like, well, we don't know what they're. It is a bit bizarre. I will say this with the Lightning. Now the Lightning just got approved for $275 million for upgrades to Amalie Arena, and that's coming from sits tax, bed tax, the same place where this Rays money would come from. And by the way, there's lots of money there. There's lots of money there. It's not infinite, but there's lots. They've doubled their bed tax in the last 5 to 6 years every year. So it's not every year doubled, but they doubled it from what it was 6 years ago. So there's a lot more money to be had there, but it's going to be challenging to do all these things. There's no question about it. And again, this is doing it at the same time is the problem. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So, the owners of the Rays and the Bucs are going to have to do most of this themselves, which was not the case in the Lightning deal. Yeah. The Lightning are putting in 75 and they're getting 275, which is a pretty good deal. Now, the Lightning had put a ton of money, and Jeff Finnegan put a ton of money into downtown, and maybe that's part of it. I mean, the Bucs weren't part of bringing in a $3 billion development for downtown. Zach Finnick was. Is this a payback for that? I don't know. I don't know how all that works, but certainly what he's brought in terms of what the tax base is now in downtown compared to what it used to be. I mean, I would have to think that's hundreds of millions of dollars that have been created. So I think that all kind of goes into it a little bit. So yeah, I mean, we can sit here and all say, oh, this doesn't get done because the Bucs are the priority or this is the priority. We don't know. We don't know what they're going to ask for. I think it is probably going to be close to $1 billion in public cost. That doesn't mean $1 billion in cash up front.
Yeah.
It just means that's what the long-term expectation may be. And I think that's where we talked a lot about this yesterday, so I don't want to repeat myself, but that's where the devil's in the details. And I think that's where this negotiation is really going to have to be centered. The Rays have to find a way to take the money in a larger, longer form. Like, I think they're going to want a lot of the money up front, but I don't think that's what is going to be offered. So I think there has to be a meeting of the minds. And that just goes to financing, frankly. You know, you got to get the financing. And, you know, Bill Cosgrove, one of the owners here, is a genius in that. He owns the mortgage company. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of it's going to be have conversations about financing and where the money comes from and when. Because I know Hillsborough County wants to do a pay for it as you go. And the Rays may want more money up front. And that's, I think, where the negotiation is going to have to start. And again, the state, I've been told that this, and by the way, if you missed what we reported yesterday, the week of February 2nd, February 2nd, February 3rd, one of those days, they're going to do the big reveal of the stadium renderings. DeSantis is expected to be front and center at this press conference, the owners. So we're going to get the renderings and their plan for what the whole mixed use project looks like. I don't know if we're going to get renderings of the whole entire mixed use, but I know we're going to get renderings of the stadium. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks. That'll be exciting. And DeSantis will be there signaling there's going to be plenty of support from the state. And I would hope Rob Manfred would be here, frankly.
Could be.
Signal there's going to be a lot of support from Major League Baseball as well. So circle that on your calendar.
Manfred should be there buying lunch for everybody.
I would second that. It's going to be interesting. You know, the last press conference they had was in Steinbrenner Field. Of course, they were playing there. It was just after the season. So I'll be interested to know where this one's going to be. Because I don't think Steinbrenner Field would be, even though it's adjacent to the property. And not that this is a huge deal either, by the way. It's not. But this would be interesting. Will it be at Hillsborough Community College? Maybe one of their venues that they have now. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Some other comments coming in. Buccaneers versus Rays for money for the new stadium or improvements. Tampa can't afford both. Again, I see this all the time. And no disrespect, Tony. How do you know this? What are the Bucs asking for? You don't know. What are the Rays asking for? You don't know. How much money does Hillsborough County have? You don't know. I mean, I don't. Everybody says, "Oh, Hillsborough County doesn't have any money." We're like are we not the largest school? I think we're like the Hillsborough County Schools is like one of the top 3 largest in America. I mean, we are one of the largest populations centers in America, like top 10. So so everybody else has money, but we don't. I don't understand where all of I think I know where you're getting it because you've read it in the Times forever. Okay. And if you don't know, they probably don't really know. And well, they have no idea, but they've said for years that Hillsborough County doesn't have any money and everybody just believes it. So they just came up with $275 for the Lightning. They have no money. I don't get it. Where are you getting this from? Do you have some data? And every time I ask this, because I ask it all the time, somebody says this, I get no answers. So where's your debt? Where's your debt? What are you getting basing this on? You can't afford both. Okay. That would presuppose you know what they want, how much is available. Do you know that? If you do know that, please tell me and how you know that. Fair? James says Bucky will have over 1,500 total yards this season. Tucker will be used properly, too. Bucs run game will be awesome.
Maybe.
Listen, if the offensive line is healthy, yeah, there's no reason that can't happen. And by the way, I think he can get 1,500 yards, getting 15 to 18 touches a game.
Sure.
To me, Bucky, I would use him. I'm not going to shy away, but I'm not, I don't like him getting 19, 25 carries a game. I don't think that's necessary, especially the way they were running him up in between the tackles.
Well, especially if you're going to use him out of the backfield to catch passes too.
Yeah. Well, and that's why you should use him.
Yeah.
If he's getting 15 to 18 touches a game, in my plan, 5 of those are in the screen game or, short passing game. Because getting him one-on-one with a linebacker is what you always want to do. And how often did we see that this year? Not a lot. Danny Boy says, as per the Bucs, April 25th, they're looking to renovate RJS or build a new stadium elsewhere. Lease at RGS ends in 2028, and they have a strong desire for the plan before. Yeah, I mean, normally when a lease is ending in 2028, we would have heard something by now, but we did hear, and that kind of leaked out, by the way. That wasn't something that the Bucs put a statement out on. That leaked out that they're looking to do a big mixed use, and they have to, there have been reports that they need to upgrade the stadium in order to get another Super Bowl. And by the way, they're getting the 2029 national championship game. So to me, it's either you're doing that, the renovations are happening before, which I think would make sense, right? And if you're going to do a major renovation, shouldn't we know by now what that is, what it's going to cost, what it's going to look like if we're going to have it done before 2029 and the national championship game? This is something that's weird. I don't really get. So
yeah.
The timing there doesn't really make sense. Okay. Chris Cole says Bucs fans will complain about the sky being blue. Same with Falcons fans. It's part of being a fan, right? Until you win the Super Bowl. What's the over-under on there being a presser tomorrow to announce the hire? Probably.
The Robinson hire? Yeah. They'll do that. I wonder if Jason Light will be there.
All right, Danny Boy says, I just saw a Brody Brazil video saying there's possible drama between the Rays and the Buccaneers. Let's be honest, there isn't any drama. Listen, I haven't heard of any drama, and I think I would have heard of it by now if there was drama. Yeah. But that statement yesterday does leave me a little
It looks a little butt hurt.
It wasn't like, hey, they're our partners. We look forward to being neighbors. Right? I guess there's things they could have said that they didn't say.
I'll tell you what it said between the lines. There goes the neighborhood. That's what I read.
I mean, just on the surface, you're competing for the same sponsors.
Yeah.
Right. And there's not like there's a ton of big money corporate sponsors in this marketplace. So, are the Bucs going to be thrilled that the Rays are moving in next door? Probably not. But, I mean, it happens everywhere. The Royals are next to the Chiefs. They're both doing big. I guess the Chiefs are moving out of town, though, aren't they? So maybe they got butthurt.
Moving across town, yeah. They just hired Eric Bieniemy back to be their OC. How do you like that?
So, I don't know. Teams coexist all the time. And the fact that they're playing whether they're playing next door or across the bay.
By the way, the Royals are also talking about leaving that property too.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I would just let's wait till we get some actual facts on that. Let's wait till we get some actual facts and then we'll go from there. But I mean, I don't think they're super thrilled about it, but I also don't think they hate it. And it could be a plus for them too. Because if they're both building mixed-use places, I don't know, depending on how that all is done, it could be a plus, could be a minus. I don't know. It could be the spot to be. So we'll see. Yep. All right, we'll take a quick break. The coach is here. Charlie Strong is here. So we will take a quick break, come back on the other side, and dive into some football. Can't wait to talk about the national championship game again, one of the greatest games of all time. And we'll look ahead to the championship games and all the hirings going on with Charlie Strong. Stay with us. Quick break. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Sitting here talking to Coach and forgot to get his camera up, so stand by on that front, you know. Sorry, Coach. This is what happens when you let a moron like me run the technical part of this.
Producing on the air.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Just want to say thank you to the great folks at KingmakersTampa.com, where we are right now. This is a great private club here that you could be a part of. Go to KingmakersTampa.com to get all the information. We got a sports bar here. We got this great production studio, a golf simulator, office space, shared office space, great conference room. All of it can be yours at KingmakersTampa.com. IndyCarTim.com. What's up, Coach? Coach Charlie Strong joining us here. How are you?
I'm doing good, JP. How are you doing?
Well, I'm better than going to the dentist.
I know that. And that's what I was running
I don't
from.
know. Maybe the dentist office was better than this.
Today,
I don't know.
It was just a cleaning, so it was a lot better when they go in and jabbing. And that's what you hate. And you have no control because you're just laying there and you're like, there's something's all in your mouth. You're like, come on, hurry up. Let's get this thing over.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And then they come in. I'm such a wuss. When they start with the needles and everything, I just close my eyes. I don't want to see the needle. I don't want to see any of it. I just close my eyes and keep my mouth open.
You know, I'm totally with you on that, Jay. I don't like needles. I don't want to take shots. I don't want to do any of that. So when they come in, start deadening your mouth and your gums, and you're like, oh, God, just hurry up. And then, you can feel, when he's coming inside, and you're like, oh. And he gives you a bad taste. You're like, all right.
And then the drill, and there's pieces of enamel going everywhere. And then you smell the smoke.
Yes. I just
Get out of here.
I keep that little blower in my mouth. I'd say, let me control it so I can just, spit through whatever I need to.
Oh, I hate to even admit this, but it's been a while since I've been to the dentist. I take very good, meticulous care of my teeth, but I just, every time I go to the dentist, he says, you know what? You need about $5,000 in work. Like, how is that? I did that last year. Why is that? Why are we doing this again?
And it's almost like they have the budget and they control it. And you're like, oh, does that really cost that much?
Here's your plan. I'm like, yes. I don't even have any pain. Oh yeah, but you're gonna need those wisdom teeth taken out. You'll thank me. I'm like, you know what? Until I get a tooth pain, I think I'm good.
Well, that crown, and they'll tell you that. Well, that crown is worn, so you need a new crown.
Exactly. Now you need it. Right. Get out of here with that. All right, we've killed dentistry anyway. Notice I don't have any dentists as sponsors here, so we can take them off. All right, Coach. So. You were down in Miami a couple of years ago, so you knew all those players so well. So I'm sure there was a little bit of hurt in watching that game, and from an emotional standpoint for some of those players that you know well. But man, what a game! What a game on so many levels. It was so fun to watch.
Well, you said it, you're watching it, and we were like talking. You watch Indiana and they take the ball, they go drive it. Well, Miami goes 3 and out, then Indiana takes the ball and go and drive it. But it was just you're just sitting on your seat because you're just waiting for here comes a big play. Here comes a big play. Every third down. Miami wasn't good in the third down, converting on third down, and Indiana was, but it was like the back shoulder throws, and then you're like, hey, get the ball in Tony's hand and let him, do his thing with it with Miami. But it was a really good game, and it was a hard fought on both sides, and that's where you don't want to see anyone lose because they played so well. It was, it wasn't one of those games where you got into where it was a blowout. It was, it came down. 2 minutes to go in the game. Miami has the ball. What are you going to go do with it?
Well, let's talk about the 4th down calls by Cignetti. And the one that Cristobal, I thought that was a missed opportunity on his part. Right before the half, he's finally got some momentum going offensively, gets across the 50-yard line. You got about a minute to go, and you got a 4th and 2. And your entire identity is built on that offensive line and your running back. And I know they hadn't been great in short yardage to that point, but in that situation, I gotta look at my offensive line and Fletcher and say, guys, go get me 2 yards. I gotta have it right now. I know you don't like second guessing coaches, but what goes into those thoughts? Take me through that moment as a coach. You've been in that seat at Texas and USF and Louisville. What is that like?
Well, I'm gonna look at it from the side of, I know my offensive line, we got to win the line of scrimmage because we talked about that's how we're going to win this game. And that's what we came in talking about. So we got to win the game at the point of attack. And then I have a running back like Fletcher. Guys, move the line of scrimmage. Let's turn around, give the ball to Fletch and go get me 2 yards. And that's what you rely on because that's what has gotten you there.
Right.
And that's what you have gotten there because of what, and even during the game, you look at Fletcher. Early they were stopping him, and then you watch him break that 50-some yarder.
It was
coming. Then he start loosening up, and then he start breaking off tackle. But he runs so hard, and that was a tough call. You're right, because it's right before half. You're thinking I'm gonna give me some points here before half, and we go in and we got.
He misses the field goal, and then to the other point, 4th and 4, 4th and 7. I mean, we're going back shoulder to back. I mean, those are. Take me through Cignetti's thought process there.
You know, what's really tough, and it's got you have to have the receiver and the quarterback has to be on the same page, especially when you make that back shoulder throw, because that ball is coming out, and the DB, and it was really good coverage by the defensive back.
Yeah.
But, you know, the ball is thrown on the back shoulder, so now the guy makes the catch, and you're sitting there like, wow, what a play. But it was 2 catches that were made there, and you look at it, JP, you're like, wow, you know what? That was just a good execution.
Yeah. That's having confidence in your players.
At that time. And, you know, and the big play was a 4th down on the goal line.
Yeah.
When you go into empty, and usually when you get into empty, you try to run a game up front because you're just so afraid of the quarterback run.
Right.
Because everybody's so spread out. So you try to twist the front and try to, you know, get them inside and make the ball kind of run sideways and not let it get downhill.
Yeah.
And the ball got downhill on them. And the safeties, you know, they showed the one safety, he was coming down to try to make it. But Mendoza saw him and he cut to his right.
Yeah.
And then he was able to go in for the score and made an excellent play where he dove. He wanted that. And he dove and he got it.
Yeah, what a call.
Oh,
in that situation to go for it on it, he brings a field goal team out, and then he's like, nope, I'm going to need a touchdown to win this game. I mean, a lot of coaches I see in situations like this, I don't want to say it's coaching scared because I've never been in your seat.
Right.
But to me, it's like, and how does it factor into it at all? It's like you're Indiana, you've never been here before, you may not get back again. I got to take my shot here.
You know what was tough with that, Jay? You're looking at you're up. So if you say, okay, we send the field goal team out here, we get 3 more, so we're up 6. Now Miami still needs a touchdown to beat us, and so now you're sitting there. Okay, if we don't get back down here again, well, we have this opportunity.
Right.
And then it was like, what do we have to lose, guys? Hey, let's go out here. Let's put the ball in our best player's hand, Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it in his hand, and let's go run a quarterback draw, which they did. And usually when in the red zone, when you look at the red zone, even on the professional level, on the collegiate level, the quarterback comes alive. So the ball is in the quarterback hands. He's going to make more plays than anybody.
Right.
Where he's going to take off running with it, or he's going to get outside the pocket and make a throw. But I always said, in the red zone, the quarterback comes alive. So
you got to watch him.
You have to watch the quarterback.
When he called that, when it was 4th and 4 and they go empty, were you going quarterback draw?
That's all I was saying, because I just said he's not going to throw this ball because if you watch Miami, they were all the way across the goal line. So where were you going to complete it at?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they had a corner standing there, a safety, a backer, because they were aligned where the ball was not going to be completed. So now the only thing you can do is run the quarterback draw here, and that'll give us the best chance. And we need 4 yards. So we spread them out. You get them out of the box, get them spread out, because the backers were on the edge, so they couldn't get back in there.
Right.
And then so you double off the nose to whoever shows, and now you seal both outsides and let the quarterback get downhill, which he did.
Yeah, I think Cignetti said when they called the timeout. They lined up. They saw what defense they were in, called a timeout, and said, "Well, I think they're going to stick with that defense." And we got the perfect call for that, and so he went. And that's one of the reasons he went for it.
Well, you would have stuck with it because even as a defensive coach, you saw they were in empty, so it's not much you can do. So when they line up, that's where you're going to be when they come back out. So guys, they're going to come back out. So now on defense, you're saying, all right, they just showed us it's going to be empty. So they're going to be playing empty. They're going to be empty on offense. So now let's get aligned on defense. So this is how we're going to align. And you just knowing you want to mix up the front, which they didn't do, because if you watch, Bain got a field, Messidor got a field.
Yeah.
They doubled the nose inside, and then
off he goes.
Yeah. And he made an unbelievable cut.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was heading to his left. The safety shows which will have tackled him. And then
the guard was it the guard that came out and wiped it, and he cut behind him.
And he cut right off the guard.
Yeah.
And it was your best player. Yes, your Heisman. He's a Heisman winner, and that's the reason why.
What do you think of Mendoza as a quarterback?
What I like about him is just his toughness.
Yeah.
He's got something. like you look at quarterbacks, and it's just so hard to say, once a guy goes from the collegiate to the pro, how good he's going to be.
Right.
But it's just his toughness, and he plays within the system. If you watch like those those back shoulder throws he was making, but he can, and when you can get guys around you where you get them all together and they follow you, and that's what he was able to do.
Yeah, so much of that is just about leadership, and he's a little quirky.
Yeah,
he's a little quirky.
But I think you got to be sometimes. With some of those guys, you have to be a little quirky, just because of their whole mindset. Like the quarterbacks that are winners, are not so much winners, but just, they got something to them.
Yeah,
then they are a little different.
I'm trying to think of some of the quarterbacks you work with.
See, Coach, I had Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy was different.
Teddy's different.
Teddy's different. I can remember when we're playing Florida in the Sugar Bowl, and Bostic was the backer, and Bostic hit Teddy, knocked his helmet off. His helmet went one way, and he went the other way. Picked up his helmet, and I go over to him, and I handed it to him, and I was like, "Ooh." I said, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah, Coach. I'm going to give it to these boys now. They don't know what they've done." And the next play, he throws a skinny post, and the next one was a touchdown. But he was different.
How about that?
Like Tebow was different. Like Tebow,
he was really different.
He was a really different, a special player, and you know that at the end when it was time to go make a play, whose hand the ball was going to be in? Teebs. It was going to be in his hand. But it's amazing just to be around those quarterbacks and just see how different they are. I can remember when we were at Florida and Cam Newton was young at the time.
Yeah.
Now, Cam was young.
Yeah.
And I used to say to him every day, Jay, I used to say, "Man, get over here on defense with me, man. You're 6'6". I'll make you you'll be in a first rounder. Get on over here." He's like, "No, Coach."
You want to play him at edge rusher?
I want to play at edge rusher. And he's like,
"Damn.
No, Coach, I'm a quarterback. And I'm a stay quarterback." And Cam, he did. And
that's a great story.
And I used to say to him every day, I say, "Get over here, man. You need to. You're not going to play behind Tebow, so you're not going to get to play. So get over here with me. You'll get to play." He's like, "No, I'm a quarterback. I'm not moving. I am going to play quarterback."
Yeah, and
look at his
it worked out okay.
It worked out okay.
Yeah, yes. Edge rushers don't dress like that either, Coach.
No, and they don't look like that either.
I'm trying to think who were the other quarterbacks that you've had. Who was the quirkiest quarterback you had?
Probably, who was my different than any quarterback I had? Stein, who's the head coach now at Kentucky.
Stein
he was little, and that's when like Brett Favre was really good at the time, and I used to tell Stein, "You're not Brett Favre." So we're playing.
But he thought he was.
Oh, he thought he was. We're playing Rutgers. We're playing Rutgers, Jay, and we got to win the game to get to just still go play Florida. We had to win the game. So Stein is in a quarterback, and so Burt gets hurt, so Stein comes in, and I said, "Hey, let me tell you right now, don't you mess this thing up. Hey, you can score in and play within yourself." Stein's probably 5'8". If he probably ain't even 5'8", probably 5'7". And he said, "I got it, Coach. I got it." And so he goes in, he throws a touchdown, and he points at me and says, "I told you I got it. I got it." And like, oh my God, one of the worst things could have happened just happened. I said it to my coaches on the headset. I said, one of the worst things just happened could have happened.
Now he thinks,
he really thinks he's Favre now.
So what happened the rest of the game, dude?
We ended up winning it because of him, and he made some plays. But it's just like when you're looking at that position, like guys have got to be a little different, and they have to have the leadership ability, but guys have got to be wanting to follow them. And they had to have enough about them where they're not afraid. They're not afraid of the moment. The moment is not too big for them.
All right, so let's look ahead to these championship games coming up. Patriots, Broncos. You saw the Patriots this year, and Travion Henderson broke a couple of big runs. You saw Drake May. What do you think of this Patriots team and what Vrabel's done?
It is a solid team, and they're good on offense, and they complemented one another because they're very good on defense. But you know, what Vrabel has done is and if you think about the Patriots, even before Vrabel got there, it was so much history of them winning. And the only thing he's done is came back in, got the culture back to where it was, and got players to believe in it. Like the year before, you look at the year Dre May, I think they may have won 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
And then he bounces back this season and just has one of those all-star years. But it was just because of how he went in, and it's just like everything. They knew what they had to do to get to where they needed to get to, and they went to work. You look at Dre May, like you said, Henderson. You know, they had 2 good running backs, and then you look at them on defense. They're good enough up front. They got better in the secondary. You know, I look at Big Barmore, the guy up front with a big defensive line, but they play. They don't make many mistakes.
Yeah,
you know, they go out there and they play within themselves, play good team football, and it's nothing flashy about
nothing
it.
flashy on tape. No,
nothing flashy.
They just block and tackle.
They just block and tackle, and they come off and they do what they have to do. It's nothing flashy. You know, like you talk about Drake May, you don't even think about like what their players like. Hey, you know, like they have Diggs is playing with them now, but it's not like they got these flashy guys.
No, they don't have a lot of superstars on up. I mean, Henderson can go, as we know, but their offensive line and that's a situation where, you know, Vrabel comes in and just kind of changes everything, or maybe brings it back to the way it was under Belichick.
Well, he had been there, so
it's not that Mayo didn't. Though.
No, you're right. It's not that Mayo didn't, but Vrabel had been there, so he leaves and he comes back.
Right.
So he just comes back with, you know, what he had learned there, when he went off and was in Tennessee, what he learned there, and now when I come back, this is what we're gonna install. But you look at them. They did a really good job in the draft. They got guys around them because catch that Boutte made.
Yeah,
and then
Deshaun Boutte.
Look at that one-handed catch. You're like, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah, and he really came on at the end of the year.
Came on at the end.
Yeah.
But those guys. But that's what happened. They start playing together as a team, and they start seeing it, because once you hit a winning streak and you start winning, then everybody start believing in it. And then now it catches fire. Once it catches fire, you know, it's hard to put out, especially when the guys are playing good.
Yeah. The Broncos, obviously, they lose their quarterback in Bo Nix. I mean, Jarrett, I was thinking about Jarrett Stidham after the game. He's sitting there, you know, I didn't do anything today. I haven't done anything all year. I'm just holding a clipboard. And coach comes over to Sean Payton and says, hey, yeah, Bo's got a broken ankle. You're in next week. I mean, holy shit, did my world just change overnight in a minute?
He hasn't done that all year. He hadn't had to play at all. And then all of a sudden, you're the starter.
Like, you know, what's that? What's going on in that building?
Yeah, like you're the starter. But I still think that they have enough around them. If Stidham can just make a play or two, Jay, if he can, you know, third down, if he can get the ball in the right person's hand, if he can keep the chains moving, they're good enough on defense where they can, you know, they can keep you in the game. Now, are you gonna have to make a play or two on offense for them to go win the game? And you know, with Stidham, he's been in the league for a long time. He's been in the league for a long time, so. It's not like you got a rookie.
He's got a big arm. He's athletic.
He's athletic. He's got some guys. He has some pieces around him.
Yeah.
And the thing, he just, you know, don't go out there and don't see too much. Just, you know, execute.
Keep it simple.
And yeah, but he's got a head coach who understands that, who Peyton will get him right and will get him, you know, making the right throw.
Can do that in a week. Get him ready.
Well, the reason why you can probably do it in a week is because he's a vet and he's been sitting in there. Yeah. You've been sitting there the whole year listening to what he's been saying to Bo. So and him and Bo are two different guys. So, you know, Bo's gonna get outside. He's gonna run that ball if he has to. But you're sitting there listening to him where he's been coaching Bo. So as long as you've been sitting in those meetings, you have an idea what you do know what's going on.
So if you're picking this one, Patriots, Broncos with a new quarterback, Broncos playing at home. I kind of feel like it's a situation where the Broncos really galvanize and Stidham's good enough and they get it done.
I'm with you because I'm looking at the defense, And I just think the place is going to be loud. That's a tough place.
It's a tough place to play, right?
Tough place to play. It's going to be loud. They're good enough on defense where, I mean, Drake May is going to have one of his games because they can cover. They're good enough in the secondary. They can cover, and they have guys that can rush the quarterback. So I just look at if Stidham just stays within himself, I think they have a chance. I really do.
All right, let's go over to the NFC. Another two teams that you saw this year, the Rams and the Seahawks. So you know about both of these teams. Here's the thing, though. The Rams defense, the first 12 games, 14 games, they were allowing 16 points a game. The last 10, or last since then, they've allowed 10 points more, 26 points a game. That is a dramatic drop in how this defense is playing. And they haven't significantly lost any big time players. So what's going on there? And this, and this Seattle team is humming.
Well, I think that with the Rams, they're such an up the field vertical team on the outside with your rushers. And you look at their two outside rushers and they, they get vertical. So people have been able to block them, chip them, whatever. And the ball has been able to get the ball out. And I don't know if they're good enough in the secondary. They have some really good players, catching those guys in the secondary. But can you chip and keep the rush off long enough to get the ball down the field?
Yeah, their secondary is not their strength.
Right.
They've been tackling terrible.
Yeah, and missed a lot of tackle. And that hurts because, like you said, the first half of the season, they were unbelievable on defense. And then you look at them in the second half of the season and people been moving the ball. Even a game last week, you just felt like that whoever had the ball last was going to win.
Yeah.
You just felt like if they have it last, they're going to win. Now, can the Rams make a play to get off the field?
Yeah, which they did. Now the Rams offense, which you saw all too well, they can freaking go.
They are explosive. Well, isn't it amazing? Like, this guy's 17 years in this league, and he's still
slinging it.
That throw he made to Adams on the sideline the other day was unbelievable catch. And Adams stayed in bounds. His feet down, got in bounds. But Puka is, that's where you look at. If it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, you find a way to get him the ball because he's going to get you the first down now. He's going to run hard enough. If they pitch it to him, he's going to run downhill and get behind his pass.
How do you defend guys like that?
It's hard to defend because he's so strong and physical. He can win on the perimeter because usually when you have a guy covering him, it's like your nickel backer.
Yeah.
You got to have a good cover guy on him because he can, he's good enough and effective enough to make plays on offense. So now you have a little guy on him.
Mm-hmm.
So when he catches the ball, that's why people miss so many tackles on him. He can get them off of him, and then he can, get the ball down the field and get positive yards after the catch is big for him. And that's going to be big in this game, JP. I think the yards after the catch or the yards after the run. If you ever watch a game and you watch like hit or contact when a guy gets hit, how many more yards does he get?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times these guys don't get stopped. Now, does that, that's hidden yardage that keeps adding up.
Yeah, Godwin was so good at that early in his career. You just couldn't tackle him.
You couldn't tackle him.
Yeah.
And it becomes a problem because now you're like, okay, he catches a 5-yard hitch. How many yards he's going to get after this? Another 5, another 10. But yards after the catch, yards after, that's what's going to be really big.
I'm looking at Puka's numbers and, late in the season, 15 targets, 9 targets, 11 targets, 10 catches, 130 yards. It's like he's freaking unstoppable and hell of a player. And that's a guy that, what did he go in the third or fourth round? How does a guy like that slip? Because I know his 40 time was not. I think he ran like a 4.5 something.
Well, that's the thing. We put so much on these 40 times, and guys end up slipping, and then they end up being really good players because and when you get him, you're like, I'm glad you didn't run good in the 40.
When you get him,
when you get him,
5th round he went. 5th round.
And that is something. A 5th round. And look at him now.
Dominates,
completely dominates.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the matchup because I think with Seattle, they missed the field goal. Seattle missed the field goal and they ended up getting beat. And then they came back. They were down 16 and they won in overtime. Remember, they got a 2-point conversion. in overtime when they end up beating the Rams. But Seattle, it's going to be at their place. It's going to be loud. It's going to be, like what Sam Darnold is, how effective he is.
It kind of comes out to that, doesn't it? What do you think of Sam as a quarterback?
I really like him because, you look at what the guy's done the last 2 seasons there. I mean, it's amazing to see his numbers and for him to make the throws that he make and just runs the offense the way he does. Doesn't, he's a guy that can stand in there and nothing bothers him. And just like, wow, look at this guy operate. We were fortunate because, we go ahead, Baker made some plays for us, and then it comes down, they have the ball, and then Devontae intercepts it.
Yeah.
And they just needed a field goal. And we was like, oh, man, somebody's got to make a play here. Just to get them out.
And we got
And we got it.
Yeah, it was like whoever has the ball last or whoever gets a turnover.
That's exactly
it's going to
right.
win that game. Yeah.
Yes.
And the Bucs did. It's great. Probably your best win of the year. I would have to say at that.
At their place too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I gotta, this is a Sam Darnold special. And if you're going Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, you're obviously going to go Matthew Stafford. So this is the moment of truth for Sam, especially what happened last year. Obviously he wins 14 games with the Vikings, a terrible ending to the season, and he's gone. Although I think the Vikings might regret that. So this is his moment. How much does that weigh on him, and do you think he gets it done?
Well, he's gonna need help to get it done because it's really and it was really good is you have an opponent coming in to your place that you're very familiar. You don't play them twice, so you're very familiar with them. So now it just comes down to, is he going to be able to make enough plays, or his receivers, they're going to make enough plays for him? And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really, really good game. It's going to be a good physical game. Now it just comes down to, Darnold, can he make the plays? Can he make the throws? And where he can keep the chains moving and get some scores.
I got to feel like the Rams defense has just become, not good for whatever reason. And then they got to go play a red hot Seahawks team who's scoring a lot of points, got a lot of momentum. It's hard for me to pick against Seattle in this situation. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Well, and you just made a great point. What's tough is late in the season, you want to be playing good on defense.
Right.
Because the defense is what's going to carry you into the playoffs. You want to be playing good defense, and they haven't been playing. And you're right. And Darnold is red hot. Even as red hot as Stafford is, can they score enough points, to match Seattle when Seattle's defense is playing pretty good right now too? So they're playing good, but can the Rams defense stop them? And that's what it's going to come down to. And they scored enough, in overtime. They scored 30-something points against them, and then they had a chance to win the game. And they missed the field goal.
Yeah.
So they know they can win. So it's not like you going in there like, hey, these guys, they beat us twice. I mean, no, we split 1-1, but we should have beaten them twice.
All right. We'll see how that one goes. I like the Seahawks. I like the two home teams. We'll see where it goes though. They got both teams have a huge home team advantage. That's what you play for. Coach, before you go, last question. The Bucs hire Zac Robinson. From Atlanta, who obviously you coached against this year. Your thoughts on him as a coordinator? Did he show you anything that was super special? What do you think about him?
Well, I think with Zach, he had the personnel around him, and I think he did a really good job of using it because you look at the running backs, is a really, really good player. Dejon is special.
He's special.
And he made some plays. And then you look at the tight end. Then the tight end came on maybe after our game, because I think he had a bunch of catches in our game, and he is very talented. And the wide receivers, like he had enough talent there on offense and he was able to use that talent and was able to move the ball and they got some scores. But he did a really good job with what he had. And the quarterback, because you're sitting there, you lose your starter, and then you come back with your backup.
Totally different type of player.
Totally different, but one's a lefty. Doesn't, and he's and the other one's better underneath center. So it was something now.
Yeah. So that's working with Baker and the weapons you guys have on offense, and to get that offensive line, which I think you probably think that's one of the better offensive lines when healthy.
Oh, I think it's unbelievable because, like you said, when you get them and when they're healthy, it's not a better offensive line in the conference. Because it's amazing just to see them and how well they can play together when they're healthy.
When they're healthy, that was probably the biggest difference in the offense this year. You think that and Baker's health?
Well, they never were. You think about it. In the beginning, the O-line was beat up.
Yeah, no Tristan.
So no
You're moving your center to left tackle.
Think about it.
And your offensive coordinator.
Outside, and Barton's the center, and he goes outside and play left, which shows his athleticism.
Yeah.
But it was tough. And then Baker was playing. It just shows you how gritty and how tough he is.
Yeah.
Because he was playing through injuries, and he just felt And I think what happened with him is he just like put so much on himself where he felt like it was all him and no Baker's other guys around you. I mean, I know you don't. And never once was he able to get Mike and Chris. You think about that early. You didn't have both of them early.
I know.
So Mac was doing it all for you.
Yeah.
And then people start doubling Mac, and then it's like, now which way I'm going with the ball. But I think that with them getting Zach, will give them something different and be able to, just showcase what they have and put them in position.
Yeah, Dave Archer was on with us earlier, who works with the Falcons, and he was talking about how Zach really does like that with that wide stretch game to get the bootleg game going off of that. And Baker, with his athleticism, he throws so well on the run. It seemed like that would be a good fit. His style of offense with the wide stretch would be a good fit for this. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you watch a lot of teams now, that's what a lot of people want to go to, the wide stretch. So, they're trying to get the ball outside, especially if you have a back that can get to the edge.
Like Pajan,
who can get to the edge.
And Bucky can do that, right?
And Bucky can get to that, where you can get to the edge and make plays where you can hand it to him. And then, like you said, you bring the boot off of it, and now Baker's all along. And then when you see guys and they get on the edge of a defense, their completion percentage goes up
dramatically.
Because there's nothing, they can see the windows and they can just
especially these smaller quarterbacks.
Oh, the smaller quarterback and the layers of the field, you can see it all.
Yeah,
and it's easy to get them outside there. A lot of quarterbacks like operating on the edge.
Yeah, I don't blame them. All right, Coach. Anything else you want to throw out there today?
No, I'm good. It's been real. It's been fun.
You like talking football like this?
Like talking ball.
It's not as much pressure cooked as those meetings, huh?
Oh no. When you sit there and you ain't got to worry about it, then you can say all you want now.
I have a question for you. This because we were talking about this earlier. So when you're going through the hiring process, right? Coach say, as Timmy and I were talking about this, and Timmy, you want to jump in, please do.
Okay.
Like the Cowboys are bringing in, who is the Arizona coach?
Jonathan Gannon,
who's really good at stopping the Cowboys offense.
Right.
So if they're bringing you in and they're going to ask you, well, Jerry's going to say, now, buddy, how did you stop Dak Prescott? Now, are you going to tell him? Are you going to, hire me and I'll tell you how I did it? Or in the interview, do you reveal your secrets? Because you may be going to coach it for the Eagles next year or the Giants or whomever. So do you reveal your secrets in this meeting to impress your new boss? Or is there a decorum there that you don't ask those things? How does that work?
No, guys. No, some guy's gonna ask. Like how did you stop us? Like how did you play us? But the thing you do is you're like, hey guys, this is my package.
Yeah,
and this is what we do on defense. And then just to shy away from And I said, it's not that I'm game planning you guys, but this is what we do now. If I was here, I would tell you, and I tell you who was really good at that was Coach Saban. Like when we were there at Alabama, he would bring guys in, and then he would tell the guys like, okay, how would you defend us?
Yeah,
and
he'd be getting intel.
Yeah, he'd be getting intel because what it was, he wanted to get the information from them, but
wasn't going to hire him.
Yeah, and some of those guys just blurted it all out. They gave you everything. But
you were a little bit more like, I'm not going to give you everything.
No,
you want to hire me, I'll give you something.
If you hire me, I can tell you really how to stop you. But I just want to give them my package. This is our package.
This is how we do. But if you had a little secret about something that Dak did where you knew it was run or pass, you're not going to You may not divulge that.
No, you won't tell them because, like you said, you may not get the job.
That's right.
And if you play Dak next year, you're gonna say, "All right, you guys, if like you can say this, like you look at the offensive line, guys. Every time the guys are up, and the foot is kicked far back, you're gonna get a pass. Now, if he's up and his feet are balanced, you're gonna get a run. Because I always say this, JP, a 300-pounder cannot hide his stance. He's gonna tell you whether it's run or he's going to tell you where it's passed. And all you have to do is look at it.
You can tell.
Yeah, you can't hide.
You can tell that on film, or is it better up close?
No, you can see, you can watch it on film. Like you can just watch the guy, because at some point, if they got a good rusher on the outside, he's got to get his feet set. So if the guy's going to come off the edge on him, he's got to be ready to get out there and go block him. Now, when it's a run play, it's a run play. If I had to go and climb to the second level, I need to get my feet right so I can go climb.
Get forward, yeah.
Yes.
So how often, percentage-wise, can you tell on a team whether they're going to run pass just by looking at it?
Well, you can tell, but here's the key thing: the players got to know.
Yeah.
You can stand on the sideline and yell at all you
pass.
They don't hear you, but they have to study it too.
They have to study.
But the really good ones can hide it. But sometimes when you're young and you're a rookie, you don't know how to hide it yet. So that's where guys can pick up off of it.
That's very interesting. All right, we got to hit a break. You're welcome to stick around if you like. If not, I know you got to get back to the dentist. Whatever it is you got to do. I'd rather be at the dentist than be in here talking to this jackass. All right, we'll take a quick break and remind you folks that Third Generation Plumbing is not only the place you go if you need AC or plumbing at your house. They do a great job. They're running a maintenance special right now. $169 gets you 2 visits a year for your air conditioner. They'll come out, they'll clean the drain line, make sure all the fluids are good, and you're ready to go. So you don't have that emergency summer moment where your wife calls you and says, the air conditioner's not working. So stay away from that. Hire Third Generation Plumbing to come on out. $169 for 2 visits. It's going to save you a lot of money on the emergency visit, which will be a lot more. So make sure you give them a call. Go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And also, if you're looking for a gig and you're an experienced tech in plumbing or AC, give them a call. Drop your resume at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Great pay, great benefits. Get your holidays off, and you work for a great company. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Back in 3. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Timm Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond. a natural diamond from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Omerton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's the love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Hey folks, Rays baseball and the summer heat will be here before you know it. So don't let your AC unit strike out and cost you hundreds or thousands for an emergency repair. Get a 1-year maintenance plan from Third Generation Plumbing and AC for just $169. They'll come out twice a year and service your unit. Clean the drain line, make sure it's running to peak efficiency. If you need an emergency repair, it's going to cost you hundreds, if not thousands more. It's a no-brainer, guys. Just call the great friendly folks at Third Generation. They work with American Standard Heating and Cooling to ensure you have the most efficient and durable units. Their split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. So choose my guys, John Rodriguez and PJ, at Third Generation, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling. Don't wait for the emergency that'll cost you thousands. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard. 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson. Don't forget show. Don't forget coming up Saturday night on WMOR TV, which most of you have on your cables. It's on your local channels down there, Spectrum and Frontier. 7 o'clock, the Magic against the Cavaliers. WMOR TV is your home for Magic basketball on the weekends. So check it out. Coming up Saturday night at 7 o'clock, it will be the Magic and the Cavs. The Magic is 6th in the East. I think the Cavs are up there as well. Wasn't that the playoff matchup last year, if I'm not mistaken?
Maybe.
Anyway, good matchup. We'll start talking a little bit more Magic here, if you guys like, and we'll do that tomorrow. We'll have a special guest on Talking Magic.
Ooh.
MOR TV, Saturday night.
Penny Hardaway's coming on?
No, Shaq.
Shaq's coming on. I could get you Shaq.
I left Orlando.
Shaq lives right around the corner from me.
It's just a theme park place. You can't have a baseball team. You know that.
So I guess Coach had to get back to the dentist for real, huh?
Yeah, I told him, I said, we're going to talk about Rays Stadium. You don't want to be around for that. That'll really make your teeth hurt for sure. All right. James says, the Bucs hired stiffs like Kafka or Callahan. Would you be happy?
Oh.
Because with a great hire and quarterback is why Robinson will succeed at Tampa. He was limited in Atlanta. Penix is a stiff. It's a 2x4 and he couldn't play behind center. Listen, if you like Liam Cohen, Zac Robinson went through the same
school
mentorship as Liam Cohen did.
Yeah.
They were there together and basically the same thing. So am I saying he's as good a play caller? No, I'm saying he's basically the same guy in terms of his training. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're trying to find another Liam Cohen, this is it. This is as close as you're going to get. And Baker likes him. Baker's worked with him. Honestly, this is as good as you could hope for. Did we want Mike McDaniels? I don't know. I'm not a huge Mike McDaniels fan. I don't think he would have been a good culture fit with Baker, to be quite honest with you. So I don't think we missed out on anything there. I think it's his Mike McDaniel is a good coach, good offensive guy, but I don't think that was a huge miss out, to be honest with you. Todd Monken, I think, would have been great. But both of those guys were highly sought after, and they said there were other opportunities that were better, which ought to tell you something about the situation here. So look, Zach comes in. I think TJ Yates is going to be the quarterback's coach. Zampese.
Can TJ Yates also be the backup quarterback?
Could be. Yeah, because I think TJ's Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's probably moving on.
Yeah, probably going back to coaching.
And do the Bucs draft a quarterback to develop? And what's interesting is look where some of these quarterbacks have been drafted that are playing in the NFL, still playing in the NFL. You got obviously Brock Purdy, as a 7th round pick, went far in the playoffs. Tyler Shook, 7th round pick. So it doesn't have to be a 1st round guy that Stidham's going to be playing here for the Broncos, right?
Yep.
Sam Darnold's been around and been available. Matthew Stafford started somewhere else. There's a lot of different ways to get the quarterback done. But I think they'll be in the market and I would like a young kid that you start to develop behind Baker to eventually take over for him. I think that would be interesting.
Let me throw this at you while we're on the topic here. In Mel Kiper's 1st round mock draft, where I told you the Buccaneers take a tight end at number 15 as they take Kenyon Sadiq, the Oregon tight end. You love Oregon.
Oh, he is a specimen.
And they take him at 15, according to Mel Kiper. The very next pick, JP, the Jets at 16. It's the pick they got from the Colts for what's his face, the corner, Sauce Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Simpson from Alabama. Would you be tempted to take Ty Simpson at 15 if he was available, or is that too high for a quarterback for you?
You're wasting the Baker years if you don't go get an edge rusher.
Okay.
And recency bias, people, I know there's some of you were down on Baker, but look at the 3-year period. He's been really, really good. He's been really, really good. With a lot of moving parts and his leadership, he's taken this town by storm. Don't get it twisted. The guy was beat up, banged up. Charlie said it on the air, and I can tell you, even off the air, it's worse than you think. He was beat up, and you could see it in his play. So if you're down on Baker, I would say look at the first 2.5 years as opposed to the last 6 games. I think that's fair. So going forward, I think you have to go edge rusher, and with Mesidor and Bain, I don't think either one of them. Mesidor might, I don't know, but Bain is going to be gone.
So in this mock draft, the Cowboys take Mesidor at 20.
At 20, Mesidor's on the board. Well, he's on the board with the Bucs. We're not taking it over Mesidor. Or good, at least God, please no. Please no. You kidding me?
It could happen.
Rushers in Kuiper's mock draft go before the Bucs pick at 15.
You've got, of course, Mendoza first. Arvell Reese, linebacker, Ohio State, goes to the Jets at 2. You've got David Bailey, Texas Tech, going at 4. You've got Bain going 7th to the Dolphins, or I'm sorry, to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Keldrick Falk from Auburn going to the Dolphins at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State, going to the Cowboys. He's a pass rusher. That's at 12, and that's
so they got four edges going before the Bucs pick at 15.
Yep.
Well, they might have to move up. But if Mesidor is mocking at 20, I'll take him at 15.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Mesidor at 20.
And there's no way we pass on him to get a tight end, even though I like Sadiq.
I don't think you can. Caden McDonald, Ohio State, goes at 25, but he's an interior guy. He's not an edge. And that's it in the first round. Oh, Caleb Banks, but he's an inside guy too. Goes to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Cassius Howell, Aggies, goes to the Patriots at 31.
Yeah, there's some guys. There's some
Cassius
guys
Howell's
to be
gonna
had.
be a stud, man.
There's some guys to be had, and if we don't go edge this year, then geez, oh Pete. But that's part of the Bowls thing, you know. They don't value big time edge rushers. Danny Boy said the Rays might ask for $1 billion in help, infrastructure, etc. Why wouldn't the Bucs ask for the same thing? The Bucs building competing mixed use district across the street. Oh yeah, we already did this one. Sorry. But back to the point. We don't know what the Bucs want. I don't have any real answers for you guys other than to know that it's, you know, we're a big county and city. We've got money to spend. It's just a matter of how we spend it in terms of the details. Is it upfront money? Is it long-term money? Like, what is it? There's a lot of tourist tax revenue coming in. Does the state get involved? How much does the state do? How much does MLB do? There's a lot into the details. So it's not really worth arguing over until we see them. But I did have somebody in here say, get Hagan on. I know he was on the other station. You know, he told me he was going on with those guys. Gio Provenzano says, get Hagan on. He's been bringing up Orlando a little bit too much for my liking. Listen, I spoke with him the other night, and you know, there's a lot of background I can't tell you about, but he's concerned. He said this publicly about Orlando, and so am I. This is nothing new. None of this is new. And yes, there are, you know, Workman was the main guy in the Orlando deal, and he's now in the Rays deal. And I told you this months and months and months ago, that I think one of the reasons that he's in this deal is because if it doesn't work here, if the money is not here, or the money's here, but if it doesn't pass for whatever reason, their next move is to Orlando. And Hagan's talking about it, and I think it's smart so that everybody on the council knows that if you don't approve this, and listen, there'll be a lot of negativity. I don't think it'll be the majority, but there'll be a lot of negativity. And there'll be loud voices about this. Wolstall will be the main one on the county commission, screaming about giving money to billionaires. And there may be some people on that council that are swayed by that. But you better know that if you're on this council, that you'll also be held accountable if this team is moved to Orlando. You will be held accountable. And I think it's important to bring it up. Yes. Orlando is a threat, no question about it. So if you want this, if we want it bad enough, Major League Baseball wants it here. The state wants it here. So many other outside forces want it here because this is such a great market. We got to want it. And we got to put our money where our mouth is. And I'm not saying this needs to be a bad deal for the taxpayers. It doesn't have to be. And if it is, then there may be, if this ownership group wants that much money and can't make it work without it, then at some point, yeah, you do have to say, walk. But I don't think that's where they're at. I think they're committed to Tampa Bay. That's what they've told us. That's what they've been telling me for a long time. And if you're committed, you find a way to get it done. And you listen, you have a great opportunity to build a tremendous real estate development that will make you a crap ton of money with the baseball stadium as an anchor. It's a risk, but get it done. Mike H says, is St. Pete still in play? I don't think it is. I think Major League Baseball knows that St. Pete is a loser in terms of a location, that Orlando is a better location. It doesn't work in St. Pete. That's what I've been telling you forever. That's what's evident. And that's why this deal never happened there. And because of Stu. So yeah, Orlando is a threat. And it's not, if it doesn't work here, could they go back to St. Pete? I guess. But I'm telling you, Major League Baseball does not want it there. So I think Orlando would be the next option. And by the way, and I know even Hagan is saying this, but Orlando has shown no inclination, the public officials over there, to be putting up public money. And they've got a lot of public money that is of their tourist taxes that's going into rebuilding Camping World Stadium for the Jaguars to come play. They're spending like $500 million on that. Yeah. Mike asks, translucent roof. That's what I'm guessing. That's my guess. I don't know.
That's kind of the fashionable thing to do these days.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see those drawings though.
Thomas Casper says Lot 12 is the Crosswinds backup runway, formerly U.S. Air. Temporarily shut for clearing, but is also maybe traffic lane coming from the new FDOT multi-node on Cypress Street. I have no idea what that means, Thomas. Can you put that in English?
A lot of words, Thomas.
Can you put that in English, please?
What language is that in?
Play Blues Well says Mel Kiper is a perfect example of the Peter principle, rising to your highest level of income.
Now, look, we
dude has made a freaking living off of,
We haven't talked a lot about Mel Kiper. I mean, it's about to be draft season, so I'm sure his name will come up. But how much credibility, if you think he has credibility, I'm not stating it one way or the other, how much of that, if he had it to you, and I'm asking everybody, Peterman's, how much of that did he lose after his falling on the sword for Shedeur Sanders in the last draft?
A lot. I think he lost all credibility, to be quite honest.
I think so too.
Because, you just can't escape the politics side of that whole deal. You just can't. And, that's why Mel Kiper has his job at ESPN.
I mean, he also fell on the sword
he toes the
Jimmy
line.
Clausen back in the day, saying he was going to be a generational quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to miss. You're going to miss on a lot of these guys. But he's missed on a ton, but they still keep him because his brand is good, I guess.
He's a talking. I mean, we're talking about him. So,
Mike H says DeSantis is on board, but leaves office in January. Half the new ownership were on the Dreamers team. Just saying. I don't know about half, like one guy. So, no, but listen, the point is Orlando's a threat. There's no question. They're a threat. So get it done. Get it done. I don't know what to tell you guys. I think I laid out really well yesterday how this whole thing is going to go down, and it's not going to be easy. And if you missed it, here's the Reader's Digest version. It's going to be ugly early.
That is.
Yeah, it's going to, what the hell's a Reader's Digest? Here's the TikTok version.
There you go.
Here's the TikTok version. It's going to be ugly early. It's going to be probably $1 billion ask. And they're going to want a lot of that money up front. Hillsborough County is going to counter with, we got plenty of money, but we're going to do it over time. And it's going to be mostly user fees, but we can get the bonds issued and get all that done. And hopefully they meet in the middle, and maybe this group may have to go find another investor to pick up a chunk of money. I don't think that would be a problem, to be quite honest. I think it can be done. But again, you guys have to be on board, and you got to show support for this team and support for the project, because there'll be negativity and we got to overcome it. Simple as that. So here comes the fun part. Woo! We get renderings, and then we get the funding arguments, and then we sling mud back and forth, and then we bring out the academic people who hate sports and sports stadiums never live. We get those jamokes out here. Then we get the business owners coming in here who actually know about business and what it means. And because they do it, they're not sitting in some classroom at Kennesaw State. They're just actually in development. That's what they do. And they know these things work, and they create a lot of money. So it's all there for us. If we want it, if we want to be great, we want to do something great, we can get it done. If we want to kick it down the road to Orlando, we can choose that too. Let's not do that. Let's not be Mario Cristobal on 4th and 2. Let's be Kurt Signetti on 4th and 4. How's that sound?
I mean, you got Baker Mayfield as your Fernando Mendoza. You might as well be.
Let's freaking go. And listen, I'm not worried about the Bucs. I'm not worried about the Glazers. I'm not worried about their renovation. They got a shit ton of money. They'll figure it out. So I'm not worried about it. The Bucs ain't going anywhere. So
please don't make it an indoor stadium.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for commenting. Timmy,
by the way, JP,
well.
guess where I'm Guess where I'm going tonight and Saturday, weather permitting.
Straight to hell?
That's every night for me, man. Come on now. I'm going to see your Florida State Seminoles.
Losing at something?
Playing basketball. The women's team plays SMU at the Moody Center tonight. And I am now the official editor-in-chief of the Roundtable Sports SMU site. So I've been invited to go hang out, watch some women's basketball tonight. And then Saturday night, probably won't make it because of weather, but the men's are playing. SMU is hosting Florida State.
The men's?
Yeah.
Oh, we just beat Miami, which is what we always do in basketball.
So
our Luke Laux, it's a little inside scoop. Luke Laux just scrapped his whole run and gun 3-point thing because he doesn't have the guys to do it.
Not working out.
We're 300th in the nation in 3-point percentage. So he finally said, "You know what? This is my style, but I got no shooters, so I can't do it." I'm like, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good coaching. Yeah. So he's having to switch mainstream here back to a more conventional offense, and they beat Miami. So who knows? Maybe we can.
Yeah. So I'll be, tonight won't be a big deal because our weather's not supposed to hit until tomorrow afternoon. Here with the sleet and snow and ice, but Saturday probably won't. I'm sure they'll cancel that. Have to reschedule the game because I don't know when Florida State's flying in, but it ain't going to be. They're not going to be able to get here, so that probably won't happen. But yeah, man, I was going to spend some Florida State time this weekend.
All right. Well, you think you'll be available tomorrow, or do I have to?
No, I'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, we're not supposed to get bad stuff until tomorrow afternoon. So
okay. All right. Cool. We'll count on you.
Yep.
Thanks, partner. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks to Dave Archer, by the way. If you missed that, Dave Archer, Falcons analyst, has watched every Zac Robinson call the last 2 years. Had a great interview at the beginning of the show. We'll repost that, but if you want to go check it out, go right back to the beginning, right off the top of the show. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.